Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack, blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. The Sooners got a transfer portal commitment from Luke Baklenko. I hope I'm saying that right. Baklenko. Now, one of the interesting things about this guy is he was just a true sophomore this season. So it's a little different than like the 1 year rental type of player that a lot of people think about when you're getting an offensive lineman out of the portal. Listed at 6'6", 305, has played both right tackle and left tackle, but majority right tackle for Stanford this season. And when I'm evaluating an offensive lineman, the first thing I look at is his movement patterns. I like athletic offensive linemen. That's just my preference. I like guys that move well in space. And Baklenko, he's a I would say he's a decent athlete. There are some things on tape where he struggles with quickness, whether that's working up to the second level for a linebacker or guys making quick inside moves in as he's pass protecting. But I think he kind of checks the baseline you're looking for. So here's Baklenko at right tackle in this clip right here, and you can see nice suddenness out of the stance. I mean, this sounds silly, but he looks athletic coming out of his stance. Like that stuff's matter. That stuff matters. So you see, good feet coming out of the stance, nice athletic position, and then you see him run in space a little bit. And I think he's a decent athlete. I don't think he is, an elite athlete for the tackle position. That's not what I see. But this is the first thing I look at when I watch an offensive lineman is just how does he move? What are his movement patterns? Is he a good enough athlete to succeed in the SEC with the type of defensive lineman that he's going to have to block? And I think Buklenko is that. I don't think he's a great athlete. I think that he needs to work on his agility and his lateral quickness. But overall, I think if you're just looking at, does he check the box? I think he checks the box athletically. He's a good enough athlete. Let's take a look at his pass protection first, because that's what everyone wants to know. Hey, how is he in pass protection? That's what you're wondering if you're a tackle. I think he's actually best in pass protection. Now, his best pass protection reps are really good. I mean, he's got a nice balance set, compact feet. You see, it's not long. These aren't long looping steps. Feet are in the ground, hands engaged. Right? You see the hands, getting the hands. Maybe you don't want as much lunge on the punch because hey, if the guy gets your hands, you could be in trouble. But the thing that I do like about Baklenko is when he's balanced and he's in good position, he's going to throw his hands. I mean, he is going to try to strike the defender with his hands. And then you see this is a really nice rep right here. And this isn't against some slappies. This is against Clemson. The first thing I did was go watch him play against Notre Dame, Clemson, and SMU. Right, three playoff teams. So there's some tape of him playing some good competition, but this is nice balance set, good hands, good extension. Would like to say him maybe see him stay a little more inside with the counter spin, but that's a good rep right there. If that's what you're going to get on a consistent basis, you're going to be just fine. Maybe a little less lunge, but see how he strikes the hands. He's being proactive with the hands. I I think that shows, that shows a lot of the stuff you're looking for in pass protection from a tackle. Now, nice throw. Now, this is, as I've watched his tape, this is something that shows up the most when it comes to what he struggles with in pass protection. And there's a lot to like initially. Nice balance set, compact feet, not clicking his heels, good base. He's in good position here, right? So nice point of contact, good position here. Where Baklenko gets in a little trouble is at the top of this when a guy counters back inside. He gets his weight outside and loses the guy back inside. This is something that it's not like this happens to him, 50% of his pass protection reps or anything like that. But this is the biggest issue I've seen, especially when he's playing good competition, is he gets here and he loses that inside relationship. And I think that I don't want to say that it's easily correctable because there's a lot of things that go into it, like where's your weight distribution, where's your hands, how are you torquing the guy with your upper body. But I do think that this is something that Bill Bedenbaugh will see and he'll address it. Just stay inside, keep that inside relationship. Don't let him counter back inside like that because he's in good shape. You look at the initial set, strike, nice inside position right here. He doesn't need to keep drifting up the field. He's got to anticipate that guy countering back inside. If he just runs up the field, then he's running by the quarterback. That's exactly what you want. So this is something that showed up, and it's a technique thing. I think it's a core strength thing. And remember, this guy, he was just a true sophomore. He is not a finished product physically. Like it's going to be important that he really gets after it in the weight room during the off season and adds strength and works on the agility and, really works on that short area quickness that I was talking about earlier. But this is the biggest issue I've seen pop up with him is these counter moves inside where he gets caught leaning with his weight outside and isn't able to change direction quickly enough and just stay in good relationship in his pass pro sets. Let's take a look at some of the stuff he's done in the run game. But first, who doesn't love a beefy deal during the holidays? At Didier Ranch, they are bringing their beef in a box full of deals. When you order, you will get free shipping throughout the holidays. And if you use code Oklahoma15 at checkout, you'll also get 15% off your order. Get Oklahoma's finest beef when you order from Didier Ranch at didierranch.com. Didier Ranch, tradition tastes better. So I think in the run game, he's best on the front side, like at the point of attack. Once again, I like the suddenness he comes out of the stance with. You see how he dips and gets his pad level lower here. I like that. Remember, he's 6'6". He's a tall guy. You got to play with low pads. I wish he played with this type of bend more often. And I think that's something that I trust Bill Bedenbaugh to get out of him. But as far as, and this is a play that you're going to see from Ben Arbuckle's offense. This is what I call motion in split zone. You see the tight end, it's just split zone. It's everybody in college football runs this play, but he's at the point of attack. Nice physical. I like how he's scrapping. I like how he's finishing. The effort is there. Now, is he displacing this guy, 3 feet, 4 feet? No, he's not. But he's getting in there. He's using good technique, good hands. He's leveraging the block properly. I mean, there's a lot of good things there. There's a lot of things that you like right there. Would you like to see him take the guy out of the screen? Yes, sure. Is that real life? No. I mean, you're playing a really good Notre Dame defense here. So he comes out of the suddenness, the quickness to get on the guy, use his hands. Hands get knocked off, replaces. There's a lot to like there. I mean, there's a lot to like. So I think here's another example of him kind of at the point of attack in the run game. You just see him. This is they're running GT counter here. Another play that you're going to see a lot in Ben Arbuckle's offense. And he's just on the front side. He's got this guy one-on-one. I mean, he's just down blocking. This guy, nice, leverages him with the arm. Would like to see the pad level lower, but knows where the play's hitting, torques him, pushes him side, almost gets him on the ground. I mean, there's a lot to like there. I do think that as his athleticism and strength, as he continues to develop that, I think that he can be solid in the run game. One one interesting thing. Um, this is this is just another look at him on the front side of split zone. Little more action in the backfield on this one, but you can see I thought this is a good example of just hey, quickness out of the stance, get on a guy, leverage him properly. You see him keep that inside relationship. Ball's supposed to hit inside, it bounces. He's also smart enough. Hey, it bounces, let go. I expect the guy at Stanford to be a smart football player. And that's one of the things is you would expect Baklenko to be able to come in and absorb Ben Arbuckle's system quickly. Whether that's me stereotyping Stanford guys, say it is what it is. I expect the guy to be smart. I expect him to absorb the system quickly. And that's where it's going to be interesting to see how he fits. Is this a guy I expect to start for Oklahoma next year? I don't know. But I do think that at the very least, like he's a nice depth piece. He's going to have to battle for a job. Bill Bedenbaugh is not going to hand anyone a starting job. That's just not how Bill Bedenbaugh works. But he's going to have every opportunity, I would assume, to battle for that right tackle job. We'll see what happens with Jake Taylor. Jacob Sexton coming back from the injury. I still think Sexton can be a really good right tackle. Of course, you've got Fasusi and Foje in the mix now. But I think that the floor of the tackle room just got better. I think Baklenko can be a better player than what Spencer Brown has been for Oklahoma this year. And if he can make some significant improvement, if he can get stronger, if that agility can get a little better, maybe he's a guy that's your starting right tackle heading into the 2025 season. Once again, was just played his true sophomore season. He's still a young player that's played a lot of football, but yeah, he's an interesting guy. He's got a lot of the size, plays with good effort. He's excited here. Look, oh yeah, we're rolling, baby. But one thing that I found very odd, and I'd love to get to talk to him about this. They take him out in short yardage. And this is a theme throughout the season. He came off the field when they went to this Wildcat package, not every time, but a lot of the times. Like you're looking for 78 out there. Well, 78 is in this clip, he's standing right there. Which I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. You take a starting offensive lineman out of the game on crucial down and distances. That I found that very strange, and I'm interested as to why they did it that way. But it was pretty consistent throughout the season from the games that I watched, where in these short yardage and even some of these goal line situations, they took him off the field. That's a bit confusing, but I think overall, Baklenko is, I think at the very least, he's a depth piece and he improves. Like, I think the quality of that depth piece that we had this season, I think Baklenko is better than what we saw this season. He's still got a lot of room to grow. Young player, there's a lot of things to like. Now, I do think that if he's not a top end athlete, which I don't believe he is, then he needs to become an absolute technician. He has to do all the proper things with his feet, with his hands, when it comes to angles, weight distribution, and multiple punches with his hands, independent hands, both hands. Like he's got to develop all of that stuff if he's a bit of a limited athlete. And luckily, he's going to play for one of the most technique obsessed offensive line coaches in all of college football in Bill Bedenbaugh. So I'm I'm encouraged. I think there's a lot of room for growth for Luke Baklenko, and I'm really interested to see what he looks like in spring. And then, absolutely, by the time that fall camp gets here, it'll be really interesting to see how he looks physically and if some of these technique things can get sharpened up. But overall, I'm intrigued, and we'll see how he develops. He has to develop for him to be able to play at the level that we need offensive tackles to play, especially when you look at that 2025 SEC schedule. My goodness. But yeah, there's some things to be encouraged about, but there's undoubtedly room for improvement. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you really like this. You can show your thanks by leaving a super thanks down this way, and we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.